And a good Wednesday, everybody. Welcome in. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chase McKay, Big Joe Dubin, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier with you on the ones and twos. Hope you're having a good start to your day. Hope it's not too icy or too cold, even though I think there's no avoiding the cold. It was -1 when I woke up this morning, and I said no thank you to that, but hopefully going to get a little bit warmer today. JoJo, what's up?
It's also -1 in the studio. Right, Dr.
Wow.
Crane? Yeah. Chase, we miss you, man. How's that snow looking from your palatial landscape out in Bellevue?
Oh, it looks great. Looking down, from the hill and down on the people.
Yeah, it
looks great.
That's what, when you're the big boss, man, you get to do that.
Look, I would have been in, but the helicopter needed some work. So it's in maintenance right now, so I couldn't get out with the helicopter. But my driver said he's going to try and come pick me up this afternoon. So
he's not my type. Listen, when you, I can see you like Tony Montana at the end of Scarface. You walk out on your big patio balcony and overlook, and you got all your minions out there, and you're just kind of bossing people around. So, but we're here. You're holding down the fort, man. So just in case you're worried about us.
Palatial, by the way, Joe. That's a big word.
Palatial.
Oh, palatial. Excuse me.
Look, I know I went to McGavick,
Chase
but don't.
McCabe studio.
Palatial, yes.
Oh, I'm just saying, you giving Chase a little crap yesterday about,
Have you been out to the mansion? It's pretty nice.
I haven't.
He hadn't gotten the invite yet.
It's only boss man salary can afford that out in Bellevue.
Unlimited queso is what I heard.
And that too.
Sweet.
We do have queso. It's very good. So by the way, I don't know if you saw the stream this morning, JoJo, but I was cracking up at Rex Road. It's almost like he was going through costume changes, looking like the evil emperor in one, looking like he just did his hair in the other, like with a towel over his head. I don't know what was going on, but Rex, Twitter's enjoying it.
Oh, I'm sure they are. By the way, he has the smallest head on planet Earth because we share headphones between shows, and he has the Beetlejuice head. When his head shrinks when he's in the doctor's office, that's Rex Road's head, the smallest head. It's a handsome head. It's just a small head. And I have the biggest non-handsome head, in case you were wondering.
Well,
now you know.
Now I know. Also, happy birthday to our very own Derek Mason.
Ah.
And the Titans even putting that out today. Proud of them. That was good.
Is that a big 5-0 for him?
I want to say 4-9.
Okay.
But I don't know.
We
got a Wikipedia page. Let me look that up.
Yesterday, Dr. Crane and I found an NFL Films clip of Derek Mason and Bill Belichick getting into it on the sidelines. It was fantastic.
I love
seen
that
it
one.
Years ago, but it's just even funnier now that Belichick's no longer with the Patriots, and just Belichick just smack talking Derek Mason, him giving it back. It was a lot of fun watching Derek's reaction on that.
Oh, well, because Derek, could do some trash talking with the best of them. So, according to Wikipedia, it is the 5-0.
Oh, okay.
So,
Speed limit birthday.
That's right.
That's right.
Go ahead and sign him up for the AARP, although he looks like he could still play today.
Oh, yeah. He's always said he's got a couple of routes left in him.
I mean,
get hit.
Was George Blanda the last 50-year-old who played in the National Football League? I think he played till he was like 80.
Yeah, well, because he was kicking, right?
Right, but still, I mean, as much as I loathe kickers and punters, he was still on the team, but he was a quarterback.
I think you're right, though. Gary Anderson was, 47?
He was 67 when he kicked that field goal versus the Ravens.
Well, let's look. Let's look it up.
Okay.
Oldest player in NFL history. You say Blanda? Yeah, George Blanda, 48.
That's it?
Yeah.
So
he
Derek
retired
Mason.
He retired at age 48.
I'd take Derek Mason over Traylon Burks and half the receivers in the NFL. They don't want to catch. I'd go for it. Yeah, I'd get Derek at 50 years old. You break a couple of records, go in the history. But look, we had Dennis Kelly on last week. Remember what his record is?
Fattest
guy to catch a touchdown pass in the postseason.
Yeah.
So
that would be if Derek wanted to do it. The problem is he don't want to get hit. That's just he said that. He's like, I just don't want to get hit anymore.
Well, I think money talks. So we could get him out there.
Can we represent Derek?
I think we can. We could throw him little crossing routes. We could cover him. We go to McGavick and run routes with him.
Yeah, but I mean, we could. I can call the Titans and Rand Carthon and be like, "Hey, you want to make a splash? Here you go."
Yeah, I mean, it would be 50-year-old NFL player. We're on to this. I'm writing this down now. Call Derek.
Chigakonkwo would have to give up 85. That's the deal.
Call Derek after the show. Okay. Yeah. We'll just make a call for that and say, Chig, you go to 84, 86 right now and give the 85 back.
Well, so have you ever heard Derek tell the story of how he got 85?
No.
So he was 80 at Michigan State. When he was drafted, he was 82 here. And they signed in 98, I guess it was. They signed Yancey Thigpen, and he showed up at his locker one day, and he had 85 instead of 82.
And Yancey's like, go, girl. I got 82. You're stuck with 85.
Pretty much. Old Yancey.
Oh,
Yancey
man.
Thigpen. So the coaching search, nothing new with that, with the Titans. To this point, I think the entire league is sitting there waiting on, okay, what's Dallas going to do? What's Philadelphia going to do? What's Mike Tomlin going to do, even though it looks like he's told his team he's going to come back? So maybe scratch Pittsburgh off the list. So Dallas and Philadelphia, what could happen there? Dan Graziano, the senior NFL reporter for ESPN, he did his list, his hiring predictions for the jobs that are currently open. And care to take a guess who he has for the Titans?
Oh, Dan Quinn.
That is incorrect.
I have no idea.
He has gone with Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn.
Which I don't hate it, but I don't feel like that would be a popular hire because, one, it's not offense. But
again, why are you so fixated on the offense part of this? You can hire a great coordinator.
I'm not. A lot of people are. I'm not. But I want somebody that's going to develop Will Levis, whether that's the head coach or the offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
get Aaron Glenn, then go get Liam Cohen and reunite him. And
beautiful.
Fine.
That you just solved the problem. Well done. All right, good. I mean, you can get a good quarterback coach, get a coordinator. The offense, the head coach does not have to be all. He can hire those people. That's the beauty of all this. That is the beauty of all this.
Yeah, of course it is. And so he has for the Falcons, he has Belichick, which is what I've been saying all along too. I think Belichick ends up there. For the Panthers, he has Brian Callahan, the OC from Cincinnati.
Yeesh.
The Raiders, he has Antonio Pierce keeping that job, as he should. For the Chargers, he has Jim Harbaugh. For the Seahawks, he has Mike Vrabel.
Oh.
Now, if they don't go Dan Quinn, which I've felt like they're going to go Dan Quinn, Vrabel would be a pretty good fit with Seattle. I think he fits that market. I'd be interested to see, if he brings Art Smith with him or Tim Kelly, what that looks like. And look, that team, and he'd have Pete Carroll to kind of lean on if Pete sticks around. But at the same time, like, that team has been decent over the last few years. They made the playoffs last year. They had some good spurts this year. So I don't think that's a team in a full-on rebuild.
No, there's a lot of good – I went to that game. There's a lot of good defensive players on that side of the football. And, there's a good foundation that's established there. And I think they'd welcome him with open arms. Now – you've never been or lived out there. I mean, you talk about coaching, but I mean, when you leave the office, I mean, you've never been to Seattle. What are you going to do? I mean, everything. But if you want to go back in the game, that would be a great place to land, or you could sit a year out. I know he has a house out in Utah, which is kind of out that way. Yeah. So I don't know, but good for Vrabel if he lands on his feet over there, and then and go trade for A.J. Brown and reunite DK Metcalf. And can you imagine DK Metcalf and A.J. Brown on? You'd have to hire Dr. Phil, and then your offense would be, if you get those guys on the same kind of plane, I mean, it would be fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I don't know if that's – I mean, A.J. only signed – was it a 3-year deal?
Still trade him.
Yeah, you can still trade him, but I mean, that's going to be coming back around here soon. And then the Commanders, he has Ben Johnson getting that job. So Bobby Slowick, not mentioned as getting a head coaching job, according to Dan Graziano.
Wow.
I wouldn't be shocked. Like, I would not be shocked if, like, how many times have we heard the hot candidate and he gets, mentioned for every job and he interviews for every job, but then he doesn't get the job because they determine through the interview process that he's just not quite ready. So I don't think that would shock me, and that's based on John McClain coming on our show and saying that he kind of feels like maybe he needs another year as a coordinator.
Yeah, but other guys have stepped to the. I mean, if he offered the job, he's not going to turn it down. He's going to take that job.
No.
But I could see it. I mean, there's no look. Sloak's got a job there for a couple of years if he wants it, and he could pick and choose next year what goes on because there'll be more jobs open next year. So I could see that. There's no rush for him to get a head coaching job right now.
Well, and I just kind of look at it like this: if you're a good coach, now you got to play the game right. You can't let your stock fall. Like, you can't have a bad year and then expect to have the same results. But if you're a good coach, you can go at your speed, and the jobs will be there for you.
That is correct. Let me ask you this: who's your all-time favorite pro football coach?
Probably Jimmy Johnson.
God, isn't that a shame? He was only there 5 seasons? 5 seasons.
Yep.
I mean,
But he won 2 Super Bowls, basically 3.
Yeah, I mean, they would have probably won 94. They would have beat a free agency would have started picking them away, but I believe they would have won 4 straight. They would have won 94 over the 49ers.
But didn't they get Dion as a result of free agency?
They did. Yep, because he went from the Falcons to the Niners to the Cowboys and all that. That's the thing, Jimmy Johnson was kind of a defensive guy, and he hired great coaches. Ditka was the same way. I love Ditka for his honesty. They hire great coaches. So because you get an offensive-minded head coach, if you got crappy coaches around you, you're not going anywhere. So the assistants are just as vital as anything else.
I mean, Troy Aikman has said, Jimmy was awesome, but he credits Norv Turner.
Yep.
That Norv Turner was a major part of the success he had in his career.
Yeah, and it doesn't translate. Like, Norv Turner was not a good, because maybe he went to the Redskins and he had Farrat and he had Heath
wasn't
Schuler
an
up
awful
there.
head coach, though.
But he
with
wasn't.
The Chargers.
But he's not one you talk about and like, what a good, he was just a head coach. I don't put him in the frame of a good or great head coach. So I think it's just vital of the head coach. That's why I'm saying it doesn't have to be an offensive guy or defensive, it can be a defensive guy. Just hire good people.
Ben on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com, said Belichick's interview with the Falcons lasted 28 minutes and 3 seconds. Well done.
That is well done.
Well done. 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line. We're up and running here on this Wednesday. You can weigh in on anything that we're discussing today. It's the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Big Joe Dubin, Chase McCabe with you on this Wednesday. I like this. Okay. A little What Is Love. It's a good song. Good job, Dr. Crane.
Thank you,
On
sir.
the ones and twos.
Chaser, I am looking up the 1989 Dallas Cowboys coaching staff. Jimmy Johnson's first year. Remember how bad they were?
Yep.
His offensive coordinator that first year. This is why coordinators are important. His offensive coordinator that year, David Shula, who went on to a career of mediocrity with the Cincinnati Bengals in the 90s. But
Is
and
he
then
related to?
Yes.
Okay.
Don's son, Mike's older brother.
Okay.
And then the defensive coordinator on that staff in '89 was Dave Wanstead, who ended up going to the Bears.
Oh,
and
okay. Well,
did okay there and there. But you talk about, I mean, that's why, I mean, you hire good coaches, and then Jimmy Johnson's able to find the right pieces and put in there, and then, and then from there on, of course, the Herschel Walker trade helped as well when he traded Herschel Walker for the state of Minnesota back in 1989 too as well.
Oh, yeah. That if they don't do that, then history could be very different, right?
That kind of trade will never happen again in football because it was so one-sided that it's to this day it's still like what just happened? I mean, it was amazing. I mean, Herschel Walker was a good player, but he was not what he was at Georgia, and it was just an amazing trade. So give Jimmy Johnson credit for all that.
Well, it's like Mike Ditka trading his entire draft to get Ricky Williams.
And look, I told you I'm a Ditka fan, and when he dressed in that,
Dumbest thing
when he
ever.
put that wedding dress on with Ricky Williams for the cover of whatever was Sports Illustrated back in '99, was it? Because Ricky won the Heisman in '98. And it was really bad, and he needed to go after that because his 3 years with us, and I'm a big Saints fan. His 3 years with the Saints were just awful.
Was that the same year that he flipped off all the fans on the sideline?
Might have been. His quarterbacks were Heath Schuler and Danny Werfel. I mean, so that tells you how bad it got to be down in New Orleans right through there.
Yeah, it was not good. I mean, I even remember that. And then Ditka was done.
Then he was done after that. Yeah.
So I was watching during the break. The Kelceys did their podcast that they do, and Jason Kelce, talked about the rumors that are out there that he had announced to the team that he was leaving, he was retiring, and he kind of backpedaled a little bit and said, there's stuff that's leaked out, but after a game, it's not really fair to judge anything or make any kind of decisions like that because you just came out of the game, but. I told the guys that, I'm proud of him and all those things. And then he got emotional again. And, Travis is like, yeah, brother, I'm with you, man. And so it's like it's pretty apparent that that he's probably going to announce his retirement. But I thought it was interesting, that he was able to address it just a few days later, on the podcast that he does with his brother.
Well, the game was Monday night. When was the podcast? Came out yesterday? I guess Tuesday, your day's off.
I guess yesterday, yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Did they talk about Taylor Swift any?
I don't know.
You didn't watch the whole thing?
I just watched the clip. See, here's the thing with all these podcasts, that it's both a good thing and a bad thing. They put all these clips out that I think you get the juicy stuff because they put all the video clips out. And so you can watch it that way, and then you don't necessarily have to go listen or watch the whole thing unless you just really want to.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't watch podcasts. I mean, I'll download them at the gym and that way, but I don't. I really don't watch. Do you? I mean, do you watch? I mean, I'm driving. I don't watch.
Well, I'm listening to our airwaves quite a bit. So
as you should.
That takes up as the boss man up here. I got the surround sound up here in the mansion. So I listen to that. Listen to us a lot, but. Yeah, I mean, especially if I'm on a long drive, like the Dale Jr. download, or I've busting with the boys, I've checked them out.
I go I'm more of a comedy guy. I mean, because we're so immersed in sports. But the best podcast out there is Fly on the Wall with Dana Carvey and David Spade. I mean, it's perfect. It's a perfect pot. You just laugh and you reminisce about things and talk about old skits on Saturday Night Live. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks for the
Sorry, I just got distracted.
You okay over there?
Yeah. No,
I
was
tweeted
just
a picture out of you at your house. If you
Yeah,
had,
I saw that.
if anybody knocks on the door at Chase's house, so
This is from. Trying to figure out who this is. Jim Papalano saying that big news this morning that Amazon is acquiring a minority stake in Diamond Sports Group, which is the regional Bally's. The regional sports network filed for bankruptcy last year, putting local media rights for 37 teams across the NBA, MLB, and NHL in jeopardy. Now customers can watch games on Amazon Prime. That's interesting. So that affects the Preds a little bit with their.
Well, I got
Bally's.
YouTube TV, and I don't have the Preds on there. So I'd love to have.
Do you have Prime?
I do.
Well, there you go.
I would love to have it where I could watch it. You know, a lot of cities now. I know Phoenix is doing this. Did Atlanta do it? They are broadcasting games over the air on your regular over the air channels, not cable related. I think Phoenix is doing like 18, and that's that's the way it should be. I mean, that's the way I would love to have that, where one of their off channels has the Preds play. I mean, it would be great because 82 games. I'd love to see those. Don't make people search for it. I would like that.
Yeah, no, I would too. I mean, I do wonder as this all evolves how it's going to change, or if it's going to be easier to be able to switch back and forth. Are you going to have different companies partnering up? Like I was looking on Disney Plus and there's a Hulu tab now where you can just watch stuff from Hulu right there. So I think that'll be interesting as we move along.
What were you watching
on that tangent? But here we are.
What were you watching on Disney Plus? I'm curious. Were you watching
Mickey Mouse Club?
I'm trying to think. I've watched so many with my daughter and my son. I watched so many movies on Disney Channel. I can't think of one right now.
Heavyweights.
I don't know what that is.
With Ben Stiller.
On the Disney Channel?
It's on Disney Plus, but it's under the Disney umbrella. It is a great movie. It's hilarious.
I'm talking like kid movies.
It is a kid movie.
It's a
Mulan. Heavyweights is a kid movie?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to look that up.
And probably, ages 8 to 13.
Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look.
He's Tony the fitness guy. It's hilarious.
Oh, okay, I'm going to write that down. Heavyweights. Thank you, Dr. Crane.
You're welcome. You're going to get a good laugh at it.
Okay, I'll check it out later on.
See, now that you've guaranteed that, you better hope that he laughs.
Oh, he will. Joe's a laughable guy. He likes to laugh.
Comedy is what holds us all together. And,
it is true.
Our buddy, Dusty Slay had his new comedy special on Netflix last night.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
Pretty good. I mean, it's there, and there's about a 10-minute part in the middle where he talks about a TED Talk, and it's fascinating. It's fantastic. It's simply fantastic. So well done, Dusty Slay.
Coming up next, Derrick Henry was on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast and had some interesting things to say about his future and the Tennessee Titans. We'll get into that coming up next. It's Chase and Big Joe here on a Wednesday. We're broadcasting live from the Spring Hill Heating and Cooling Game Nashville studios, keeping your home feeling comfortable all year round. 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
How do you feel like you're approaching this free agency outside of like financial security? Is it like I want to be part of a Super Bowl contender?
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, I mean, I want to be somewhere that, whatever happens, that gives me the best shot of winning the Super Bowl. The business side is a business side. At the end of the day, I mean, it has to make sense. I'm just not going to, just accept anything at the same time because, it's a long season. We put our bodies through a lot. But at the same time, I definitely want to be on a roster that, can go out there and put ourselves in position and be able to win games and get in the playoffs and contend for a ring.
Yeah.
The Bussin' with the Boys podcast with Will Compton and Taylor Lewan. I guess it came out yesterday, and talking about his future. What does that mean for him? Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. The financial part of it, Joe, is going to be the interesting one because I don't think he's going to get $10 million a year or whatever that maybe he has in his mind, maybe he doesn't. But, I think it's more in the 5 or 6 range because that's just the market for a running back right now, especially a 30-year-old running back.
Well, here we go again with it's got to be fine business and a team that gives me a chance to do this and that. Look, do you want a Super Bowl? Are you willing to take $2 million to go win a Super Bowl with the team, or is it about money? I mean, let's be the cut and dry here. I mean, like with DeAndre Hopkins, I want to win a Super Bowl. Well, why didn't you go to the Chiefs?
Yeah.
You went where you can make the most, and I don't fault you for that. Just stop speaking out of both sides of your mouth. Just if you want to go win a Super Bowl, go to a team that gives you a best shot. Back in August, did you think the Tennessee Titans were going to go to the playoffs? No. The Chiefs?
Yes.
Yeah, you did. So why not go with a team that gives you the best shot if that's what you're talking about? So don't give us this garbage about I want to win a Super Bowl when you go to the team that gets – just say, look, I want to get the best business part of this, and that's fine. If Derrick Henry go out and say, hey, ideally you want the business part and the chance to win a Super Bowl come together, right, on the perfect circle. Just come together. That rarely happens. So just go where you can make the most money. Nobody's going to fault you for that, but just quit telling us that you're going to, you want to win a Super Bowl and then you go with the most money. I shouldn't care, but just stop talking out both sides of your mouth about that.
Well, and I feel like for him, you listen to that clip, I feel like he was pretty honest. He's never been through this before either. So, I mean, he's going to go with the best fit. But, if you think about teams that are going to be needing a running back that you would consider a contender, a Super Bowl contender, I mean, do you put Dallas on that list?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yep.
Yeah. I think they're going to need a running back. They're going to be in the market.
Miami would love to have him.
I think Miami. I think Buffalo.
Oh, all these teams, Baltimore, all would love to have.
Yeah, Baltimore to me, like that might be. I would hate to see it because that would be yet again. I mean, think about that. If he ends up in Baltimore, Steve McNair, Derek Mason, Samari Roll, and then Derrick Henry.
Yeah, right.
I mean, what is it? And I know that to a lot of people, like that rivalry doesn't necessarily mean as much as it used to, as it did to me, but because those teams, like they were in the old AFC Central and then meeting in the playoffs and just, I know they met in the playoffs a few years ago, but like to me, it would just be like, oh no, another Titan in purple. Like I would hate to see that.
But if I'm Derrick Henry, fine. You get the money. I mean, it's not like you need the money, right? But go ahead and, get whatever you can. I do not fault anybody for doing that at all.
Get the bag, man.
Just go ahead and tell us that, but don't give us the garbage like, well, I'm going to go to the Arizona Cardinals because they've got a best shot of getting – no, they don't. I just don't do that.
But can't both be true? Like, can't you get the money?
Do you think Baltimore's going to give him $12 million a year?
Probably not.
Arizona Cardinals might.
But look, I think Dallas could overpay him.
Somebody's going to overpay him.
I
That's
think
good
there's
for
these
him.
teams that could overpay him. I mean, he made 10.5. His salary cap number was 10.5 this year, and that was his cash. So I don't think he's getting that on the open market. Like even like overpaying to me might be right at 10, but I don't think he's getting above that. I just don't think the market's there. Not just because it's him, but just in general with running backs.
Somebody's going
to what do you think he's worth? Like, what would you pay if you're a general manager? What would you pay a 30-year-old Derrick Henry today?
at least $10 million.
Okay. Is that overpaying, or is that what you actually think he's worth?
I think he's worth $10 million. I would pay him that right now. Look, stop with these owners like $10 million. Yeah, I mean, the difference between an owner between $6 million and $10 million is nothing, right? So go ahead and pay him $10 million. If I'm the Dolphins, sign him to a 2-year, $10 million deal. Who cares what he makes down there? I mean, go to a team that if you truly think, if I'm the Dolphins owner, I'm going to go Derrick Henry a 2-year deal worth $10 million and say, but look, going in, you might get 8 to 10 carries a game. You might get 20. We'll just see what the defense gives us and the game plan is and go from there. But I think by no means is he done at all. At all.
No, he's not done. He's got plenty left in the tank. I mean, I know he talked about even trying for 2,000 again, which that ain't going to happen. But, even if you put him behind the best offensive line in the league, I would be very, very surprised. But if there's anybody that could prove me wrong on that statement, it's probably Derrick Henry. So what do I know? But I think the one thing we can take away is that his time in Nashville is over. He did talk about that, and with Vrabel being gone, and that could the door to returning to the Titans actually be closed?
When you say stuff like that, it seems like the door to the Titans is closed. And that's not a bad thing if it is.
No, I'm not saying it like it's closed, but I just feel like I said earlier, I feel like they're going in a different direction. And I feel like today definitely solidified that. And that's okay. That happens. That's the nature of the business. If we want something to last for forever, nothing does, especially in this business. I'll always be a Titan. Even if I don't come back, but at the end of the day, I want to win the Super Bowl, and wherever that is, that gives me the best chance, and that's what I want to do. But it ain't. I mean, I don't, have no bad blood or feel no type of way if I'm not back.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what was supposed to happen. The story already written. We all just living it.
It was Derrick Henry on Bussin' with the Boys. Look, he's gone. That's how I take that, and I didn't really think he was coming back anyway. Like he said, he feels like the team's going in a different direction. I think they're going in a different direction. I mean, this is a rebuild. This team is in a rebuild. Why would you bring a 30-year-old running back to your team if you're going to rebuild?
Yeah,
I would love it, and I've said that it would make sense to do it because of who he is and what he can do, but they're not going to do it.
No, and they'll move on, and everybody, we know what's going to happen, but I hope he lands at a team that gives him the best spot to win a Super Bowl. I mean, because now he's looking at his legacy, right? What could, cement me as a all-time top running back? And unfortunately, it's winning a Super Bowl. I mean, look, Frank Gore is one of the best running backs of all time, but what does Frank Gore not have?
Super Bowl ring,
yeah. So Walter Payton, when he got the ring with the Bears in '85, was like, he was already there, but it's like, all right, now he's there. I mean, now you got that ring, take with you forever. That's what you strive for. So, and great line by Derrick Henry. The story's already been written, man. We just got to live it. I love that. That's really good. And you just find your way to go. And, cherish the 8 years he was here. Remember the first 2 years he didn't do anything because DeMarco Murray. Then they figured out how to use him. And then from then on, it was lights out. And he had that talk with Eddie George coming back from London in 2018, whatever that was about. And then he realized how good he is. So I think he's still got – look, we've seen the workout videos, right? We see what he does and how he trains his body. So this whole I hit 30, it's such garbage. It's such garbage in life. I go back to this. I wrote this story not too long ago. Prince had a birthday coming up, right? Prince was about to turn 40. And a reporter said, "Oh, you got a big birthday coming up." And Prince was like, "I do?" She's like, "What do you mean? You don't know?" He's like, "I haven't celebrated a birthday in so many years. I don't know how old I am." And she said, "Why don't you know this?" He's like, "Because society likes to put you into a hole. If you're 40, well, you can't do this anymore. If you're 45, you can't do this. So why? It's just a number." And he trains his body so well, so in tune. Look, we were in Miami, right, in the locker room when he walked in, remember, from the field?
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, dear God. I mean, when you see him up close like that, how in shape he is and how built he is and how strong he is, this guy could go another 4 to 5 years. So just because he hits 30, I'm so tired of hearing that about people like, when he hits 30, he hits 40. No, there's a great clip. I know we'll get to the break here in a second. When Johnny Unitas left Baltimore, right, and he signed with the San Diego Chargers, and NFL Films is like, here's Johnny Unitas. At 37 years old, he's a shell of his former self. And just a year prior, he was in Baltimore just doing fine. So the fact that we put these just hammers on people for ages drives me insane. I hope Derrick Henry plays another 5 years at an all-pro level. Who says he can't, right?
Yeah. I mean, we can't say it.
That's my TED Talk for today. Thank you.
Well, that's a good TED Talk. So Lance just sent this on our text line, 615-737-1025. I haven't checked this, but, I mean, it makes sense. 2018 through 2023, Super Bowl champs leading rushers, the average annual salary. So it's Pacheco, Cam Akers, Leonard Fournette, Damian Williams, Sony Michel, LeGarrette Blount. The average annual salary of those guys, $1,295,583.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that all? I mean, but so that's why, like, I would love, look, if they came out and announced that Derek got, 2 years, $20 million, making 10 per, with, obviously, I would love the Cowboys. I would be over the moon for him and be like, okay, go get the ring. That would be perfect. That would be the perfect ending. But I'm also not. I felt that way with Eddie when Eddie went to the Cowboys. Like, hey, cool. One of my favorite players goes from my hometown team to the team that I've loved since I was born. We saw how that ended.
Yeah, right.
And that
Terrible.
was, I didn't use him great either, but his body was beat up. Derek's in, I think, a better shape and better situation than Eddie was at that point in his career.
Look,
Eddie
he's
was,
just
32?
Yeah, he's just a unique running back. But I know, look, Deshaun Watson got $250 million guaranteed from Haslam with the Browns, right? So these owners get so lost in this world. I could see Stephen Ross, I think that's the Dolphins owner, signed Derrick Henry to a 2-year, $20 million. Good. I hope he gets it. Fine. But they always overpay for people. And so get what you deserve and get what you think is rightfully yours and go out and play football. But it's going to happen. We see it all the time. All the time we see that.
All right, coming up next, are we going to do this?
Might as well.
So I don't know what this is, but we kind of forget sometimes. But we're going to do – John McClain usually would be joining us right now. He's going to join Friday at 10. But coming up next, we'll do I'm Done. We didn't do it yesterday. We got a couple of things to give away, including tickets to see Sum 41 before you can buy them at the Ryman Auditorium on May 14th. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10. We got tickets to see Sum 41 at the Ryman. What are you done with? 615-737-1025. You can call, you can text 615-737-1025. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5-106.3 The Game. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game, presented by Regal Realty Group. He's Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos. I'm done. 615-737-1025. What's something you're done with? On the line, we actually have 2 pairs of tickets to see Sum 41 at the Ryman Auditorium. Before you can buy them, these tickets officially go on sale on Friday at 10 o'clock. It's Tuesday, May 14th at Ryman Auditorium. I'd go see Sum 41.
I'm a loser. I don't know any of their songs, but that doesn't mean anything.
They're like, I was like 8th, 9th grade, 7th, 8th, 9th grade when they came out. Kind of a punk rock band.
Well, what is the sum of 41?
I don't know there,
Okay.
Joe.
All right. Okay. So we've had this discussion before about our math prowess and how we just skip over all that.
Yeah, we talked about Latin. And I mean, look, we cover a lot of different things on this show. You know, me not doing well in Latin, math in general, you buying houses across from cemeteries. I mean, there are just a lot of things that we cover.
Yeah, it's the full throttle show podcast whatever on.
Well, you can
on
get the
this.
podcast.
You can
Just
get the
search
podcast.
Chase and Big Joe show wherever you get your podcast, and you can listen on the go.
All right, Chase, you want to go first? What are you done with?
No, you go first.
All right, so I've done this before, but it wasn't really so much a rant, but I see it now. And I saw 2 this morning again. Look, if you're a kid and you're leaving school to go in the portal, don't give us the message how blessed you are and how grateful you were at the others. Just go, right? Just go. If you're transferring, you're getting out. Like I saw one guy, he's going to his 4th school in 5 years, right? And he left another message like, "I'm so blessed." So I'm like, just go. All right, we don't need this. Just go. Don't Photoshop you in a uniform. The message. I mean, you're saying goodbye to the fan base. Whatever. Just go. I'm done with all those messages like that on social media of like, "Hey, I was blessed to be here, and now I'm looking at my new adventure at the University of Phoenix or whatever." Just go. That's my rant for today.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. I'm done. I think we're all done with the cold and the snow. But that's, kind of obligatory there. I'm done with people from up north shaming us southern people that either don't know how to drive in this stuff or choose not to because they don't want to. That's
Right.
what I'm done with. Like, great. I'm glad that you grew up in it and you know how to get around in it. Go ahead and brag. You can come pick me up if you want to. I'm not comfortable in it. And I'm going to be a hindrance to everyone else because I'm not comfortable in it.
Yeah.
So guess what? I've stayed home for 3 days. Yet, people from up north want to give me a hard time about it. So stop.
Yeah.
Stop your little bragging and, your little snowmobiles and whatever. Just leave us alone.
I like that. That's a good one. Yeah, because I see it all over. Y'all don't know how to drive. Really? Because it hadn't snowed in 2 years here. That's why we hadn't drive. Hair Metal Henry. Chase, can you see this on the text line?
Yeah, I see it.
The Jardiance commercial. Jardiance. And he says he'd like to give her a big old hug because he loves that commercial so much. And that's on.
The stupid lady smiling and dancing.
And I got to give it to you. The Jardiance commercial, it gets stuck in your head. And you'll be humming it like at 4:30. Like, what song is this? It's like Jardiance. And they're all gathered around some big fountain somewhere. A choreographer. What's the word? Choreography.
Yeah.
There you go. Whatever the word is, a big dance they're all doing together. And so that's the one that drives me insane too. Gator Mike says, that's a good one. He's done with the AT&T on the plane commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the headphones. That's $23. I don't know this. The Farmer's Dog food. I haven't seen that one. Am I missing that one?
Oh yeah, is that the one where they're hanging out in the guy's garage and his buddy goes to the fridge?
Oh
and,
yeah.
Dog food, and he gets kicked out.
Yeah. Okay. But the AT&T, that one's all the time.
You know what I've realized, and I know that this is a little in the weeds and behind the scene, inside baseball, so to speak. But we see these commercials, and they're on forever. And when they first come out, we're like, oh, that's pretty funny. And then when you see it for the 60th time, you're like, I can't do this anymore.
Right.
Well, as the person now that all the promos and everything you hear on the air, and some of you are like, I'm so sick of this, they're not easy to make. And so I think that's why a lot of these companies, they write it out as long as they can because they're trying to turn out so much. Like it's hard to keep them up to date and change them out. And like just when you think you get ahead of it, then you got to change something else, and then you have to ignore one thing. So I know like some of these commercials get old, and then there's some that like they're on for forever that you still chuckle every time.
Right.
I don't know
get
if it's
that.
a reflex or like what it is.
Well, that just things happen like that. So we understand that.
Shane in the Borough, I'm so done with this snow and cold. Have fun on your snow days, kids. Just know when you get older and have a job, this weather will suck. All right, I want to address something real quick. I'm glad he said that. I want to address something real quick. All right, I'm glad that we've advanced as a society, okay? But back in our day, and Joe, you probably remember this with your kids, when it was snowing, we had to get up at the butt crack of dawn and turn on, Leland Stadium or whoever to see if school was out. We knew it was probably going to be out, but we still had to wake up and we had to watch on TV to see because they would wait until the morning. In elementary school, my principal would get up and try and get out and drive, and that's how she would determine if school was closed or not. At FRA, I was classmates with the principal's son, and we would always be texting him going like, hey, tell your mom, like, let us out today, but we had to actually get up, go through the routine, and then right before you get ready to walk out the door, oh, school's closed. Then you could go back to bed. Now kids are finding out via a text message sometimes 2 days before. Like, great, I'm glad we've advanced, but I'm a little upset about that.
Well, I'm a little older than you are. We had everybody in my age watched Bill Hall on Channel 4 and Snowbird. Yep. Everybody. So we would see he did the map of Middle Tennessee, the counties. And then you would hopefully see that, and then you knew then. It's like, and Snowbird would be like, no school, would come out and do that, and you're like, yes. But sometimes you had to wait for the scroll. I mean, it was the things that went on. So you didn't know sometimes till the next morning. Because you know what city in our area what town in our area holds Nashville hostage? You know what city it is?
Murfreesboro.
Jolton.
Oh, okay.
Jolton always holds Davidson County hostage, right? It could be clear everywhere else, but somehow Jolton's got 18 inches of snow. Jolton is the one city it's always held, even when I was a kid in the late 70s and 80s, Jolton always held Nashville hostage. You had to wait and see. So it'd be like, all right, my streets are clear, but oh my gosh, they got a blizzard in Jolton, so we can't go to school. So Good job by Jolton for all these years holding Nashville and Davidson County hostage, and they still do it.
615-737-1025. We'll take Jacob on the other side. If you got some more, I'm done. We'll do that as well. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hope you're having a great Wednesday so far. When we started the show, Joe, it was 9 degrees. Now it's 15, so a heat wave coming through.
So by April, we'll be about 60, so that's good there.
It's supposed to be 60 like next week.
Is it really? Good.
Yeah.
The responses you guys have given us to I'm Done, it takes a minute or two to get out there in the radio world, but you're really good. Chase,
It happens as you get older.
Can you can you read Dave's text on the text line about what he's done with? This is fantastic.
I'm done with buying your kid a video game for Christmas. They put it in, wait an hour to download the rest of the game, connect their network account, create a game developer account, link the two accounts, and put in your credit card to actually be able to buy guns and equipment needed to play the game. All this just to play a crappy updated graphic versions of the great Xbox 360 PlayStation 2 games.
Fantastic.
That's how they get you, Dave.
That's exactly how they get you, right? Oh, that's good.
Bradford, I'm done with the coworker that wakes up every morning just to be a raging bleep from the fourth or maybe fifth dimension. We know all about the fourth dimension, right, Joe?
Oh, we know way too much about the fourth dimension. I had a coworker one time who would always, by 9 o'clock, he would say, "Hey, what are we doing for lunch?" Every day, what are we doing for lunch? I was like, stop. I'm lucky I'm not quitting this job at 9:15. Stop asking me what we're doing for lunch. Every day.
They would ask at what time?
9 o'clock. Hey, you just got to work. Hey, what are we doing for lunch?
You just need something to look forward to.
One of my 27 jobs I had before getting to the media. I was like, "Hey, what are we doing for lunch?" I was like, "I don't know. I'm just woke up."
Now you got me thinking about lunch. So
I just woke up. Stop asking that too as well.
615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Jacob wants to weigh in. Jacob, what's up?
What's up, Big Joe?
What's happening, Jacob?
Love the show, man. So I'm an HVAC tech, and this week, as y'all know, it freaking came Alaska down here. And so I'm done with when these people call in and they want you in their house like 5 minutes after you call. And I'm dealing with 50 other calls, and I can't come straight to your freaking house as soon as you want me there. And then when I get there, they want to cuss you out. So I'm done with those entitled freaking people wanting everything done on their freaking time.
So
Amen to that.
What do you say to them?
Well, I have to be professional. So when I show up to their house, when they're cussing me upside down one the other, I'm like, "Ma'am, sir, I'll do what I can. If I can fix it, I'll fix it. If not, because I work on post. So if I can fix it, if not, I'm going to give you 4 space heaters to heat up your home, and I'll come back the next day when I actually have more time, and I'll dive deeper into your unit."
Why are they cussing at you? You're trying to help.
I guess because they're entitled. I guess.
Sounds like somebody in Bellevue I know.
Yeah, I used to work in Bellevue. I know.
Exactly,
Hey.
right?
Wasn't me.
No, it
Appreciate
wasn't
the
you.
call.
It was,
Cut him off. That's right. Because all right.
Oh, he's still there.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the call and the kind words. Chase, you got to be
Yeah.
nicer to these people that come work on your 4-system HVAC control at your house.
Hey, I'm very nice.
I know you are. This is a good one.
If you got a problem with me, that's a you problem.
2865 Chris has a good one. He says, "I'm done with people not clearing the snow off the roof of
Thank
their
you.
cars."
Yep. Thank you.
Well done with that.
That was mine. The last 3 days driving into work, people that are like, "Oh, I'm gonna get out. Maybe just get their windshield. Just get off the snow in the windshield." And it's on the hood of their car, on the top of their car, the back of their car. They can't see out the back of their window. That's a safety hazard. And the fact is, they get up to 20 miles, 30 miles an hour. The snow's gonna fly off behind onto another car, which could possibly be you. And that is a huge, huge pet peeve of mine.
I like this. That's like the angriest I've ever heard Nick get. I like that.
He was standing up too
That was good.
Even took my jacket off.
and pointing at people. Yeah.
I like it. Bring that passion.
Adam McClarksville says, "I'm so done with the Super Bowl halftime shows. Are always rap and R&B. I want some Metallica, some rock bands." I read somewhere that the mayor of Las Vegas had the final say-so on the Super Bowl halftime act. Is that true?
I don't know.
Somebody said you got to run it past the mayor.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of over it. Like, it's probably because the last few years. Now the Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg,
that was good.
I was into that. I was all about that. That was in my wheelhouse. But like, Usher's okay. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, but it was Prince was the one, and then the Dr. Dre and Eminem, and that was fantastic.
Tom Petty was good.
Yeah, I mean, but Prince in the Rain, playing Purple Rain in Miami.
Yeah.
Remember in the 70s, I think the first Super Bowl halftime show was a thing called Up With People, and it was awful. There's a Simpsons episode that makes fun of Up With People on the first early years of The Simpsons. They're watching a big game, and Up With People comes on, and Homer and Bart have some choice words for it.
Was the Titans Super Bowl, is that Tina Turner?
That was. And Phil Collins. No. It was a Disney-themed halftime.
But Tina Turner she did the anthem.
No, Faith Hill did the anthem.
I swear Tina Turner was.
Faith Hill did the anthem. She might have been in the halftime show, but it was a Disney-themed halftime show because Phil Collins sang that awful song from Tarzan.
Yeah, you're right. It was Christina Aguilera, Tony Braxton, Phil Collins, Enrique Iglesias, Edward James Olmos.
What a lineup.
I wouldn't go see them at Hardee's.
Why did I think Tina Turner was a part of this?
I don't know. She did one year, I think. I think a really cool one was James Brown with Booker T and the MGs was the year the Packers won in the Superdome was a pretty badass halftime show.
Yeah.
Before my time, Joe.
This is going to drive me crazy now.
I will say if Coldplay were to do a halftime show, that would be a phenomenal halftime show.
No, man, stay away. They're not American.
Coldplay?
Coldplay.
We need American bands watching
Didn't they
American
do it? Haven't
football.
they done the halftime show?
I believe so. I think when the Broncos and Panthers were in the Super Bowl together, I think Coldplay
So you were
was,
the James Brown, that was Blues Brothers, James Brown
Yes.
and ZZ Top?
That's right. Yep, 96. The 96 season.
Yeah, Luther did the anthem.
Yep. But yeah, see, dadgum you, whoever got this on the halftime shows like that. But Springsteen in 08 was not bad. But I mean, Prince, just in the rain doing all that, and just it was fantastic.
Somebody's going to tell me if Tina Turner did something.
Tennessee girl, yeah.
I know. I need to know. 1409, I'm done with Stillman saying he has a theory about everything, and Stillman saying anyone he doesn't like sucks.
Hey, that's why we love him, right?
That's why we love him, indeed, for sure. You can keep them coming. Got a few more that are trickling in here. We'll give away 2 pairs of tickets to see Sum 41. Chris says, "Watch it, Joe. Tarzan soundtrack is one of the best Disney soundtracks ever. Change your mind and you will feel forever. Be in my heart."
Look, man, if I want to see Phil Collins, by the way, one of my biggest regrets is never seeing Phil Collins in concert. I don't see him play something good, not the theme from Tarzan.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, if it's like that was a good song, but that doesn't need to be like
You know what they need to do?
the top song.
They need to bring back the Bud Bowl.
I miss the Bud Bowl.
Bud Bowl is fantastic. Remember The Simpsons did it when the announcer was Dan Beerdorf.
Yep.
Such a great episode.
Okay, Logan says Tina Turner did a pre-show performance for Super Bowl 34.
Well, that was the Titans one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't remember that at all.
I mean, I knew she was there, I thought, but the Bud I would venture to guess without getting down too much of a rabbit hole here that you might see the old Anheuser-Busch company bring back some old favorites for the Super Bowl commercials for obvious reasons. So maybe you'll get the Bud Bowl.
Well, good. They should. I mean, $7 million for a 30-second commercial. You better get some of that.
what's up?
I love that one.
Those were good. But
Those
yeah,
were good. The night, what was the one where they had the announcer and they did it at Titans games too? But the Real Men of Genius.
Oh yeah.
That was good.
Oh yeah. Mike and Franklin, thank you, Texan. Dr. Crane says Coldplay was Super Bowl 50, and they needed Beyonce to return from Super Bowl 49 to save that show.
Yeah.
So is he saying that was bad? Coldplay bad?
I didn't think Coldplay was very good.
I mean, I think
I'm not into
Coldplay.
Coldplay.
I mean, Coldplay definitely is. It's not a lot of people's cup of tea, but their concerts I've seen on YouTube are pretty cool. Like they have a bunch of flashing lights. It's like a cool light show as well.
Well, the more we talk about it, the more the one band that really got a lot of play for that, but they didn't. AC/DC would be fantastic.
Oh yeah,
would be simply fantastic. But I don't think that ever happened.
Ben says, "I want the horses to play football again." See, that's a commercial that played a lot, and the two guys sitting in the stands, and the one guy goes, "That referee's a jackass," and the other goes, "I believe he's a zebra."
Yeah, right.
Every time I cracked up at that.
That's good. Yeah,
like that was a good one for sure. So definitely some good ones going down memory lane. Coming up next, I want to jump into something with the Predators because there's a narrative out there that I've heard Jared say, I've heard other people say, and I think they're completely wrong. And the general manager of the team cleared up some of that yesterday, I believe. We'll talk about that next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hope you're having a great Wednesday so far. Joe, there's something that I want to get into with the Predators. As they had a tough one against Vegas, but back at it tomorrow. They'll on the West Coast play the LA Kings. Max Hers will have pregame for you at 8:00. So looking forward to that. And also Penalty Box Radio usually tonight. It'll be tomorrow leading into Preds coverage from 7 to 8 because of Vandy basketball against Auburn later on this evening. But I keep hearing this narrative and I get asked about it all the time. Preds fans or people on Twitter like, hey, what's wrong with Yossi? What's going on with Roman Yossi? Like, he's just not playing well. Like, I don't get it. And I'm not one of those that I don't pretend to play hockey expert, but I've been around it a while, so I've picked up on a few things. And not everybody is as entrenched as we are. But I think what happens is they go and they look at that he only has 8 goals. And, Yossi has been a goal scorer even as a defenseman. And they go, man, something's wrong with him. Well, he's third on the team in points with 37, for one. But the other thing is the way this system is set up and it has changed, it allows Roman Yossi's having to play more of a different role than he's played in years past. He's not the catalyst anymore for this offense like he has been before. They're trying to put Forsberg more in that role, and it's showing. That's why he leads the team in points, and quite frankly, he should. But I find it interesting that people just take this narrative of, oh, Roman Yossi sucks, what's happened, when actually he's playing quite well within this system.
Are people really complaining about this?
Well, Jared's one of them, but yes, people have been complaining.
All right, give me his stats again. Did I hear that correctly? I mean, third in the team in scoring?
He's 37 points. Willy put some other stats out there from Sports Logic. This is Roman Yossi's ranking amongst NHL defensemen. Expected goals, he's 4th. Total shot attempts, he's 2nd. Shots on goal, he's 1st. Inner slot shots, he's 3rd. Passes to the slot, he's 8th. Offensive generating plays per 20 minutes, 1st. Points, he's 6th, 25 in his last 25 games. I'd say he's doing okay.
If Willy says he's doing okay, then he's doing okay, right?
Well, I'll do you one better. Barry Trotz, the general manager of the Nashville Predators, joins Jared Stillman every Tuesday at 5. This is a long answer, but this is Barry Trotz on Roman Yossi to this point.
Well, I think what you've seen is a standard of excellence with Roman for, I don't know how many years, now. And I would say that Roman is playing still at a very, very high, excellent level. I think this year, because of the fact that there's a little bit of change the way we play. You play a certain way for 20 years, and then all of a sudden we're going to play a little differently. There's going to be some time to adapt, but we want him to join the play. I think it's going to help in his long-term durability. I think he can play bigger minutes because of the way we play. And hopefully that helps his career. Some of the people will say that maybe defensively he's not as good or whatever. I don't see that. I would see him adapting to the situational stuff that happens because of the way we play. We're playing with a lot more risk than we have in the past, so there's times he's not going to look. It puts him at risk, defensively, because they're asked to get up in the play. They're asked to trust the guy with the puck. For instance, on that third goal, he was trusting that puck was going to go deep or it was going to go into his corner. It wasn't going to go cross ice and be picked off. Mm-hmm. And so when people look at that, sometimes you can fault a player like Roman, who's a defenseman up there. But really it is on puck management sometimes and the decisions made by the puck carrier. So, I'd go over that play again and give you a, as a coach and watch it on film again and define it for you. But that's part of what I see at times is some of the decision making with the puck when we have it, and Roman's trying to complement it by getting in position so that he can complement the offensive part of it. So, but I see that in Carrier. I see that in different guys at different times. So it's not Roman. I think Roman's excellent. I think he's a cornerstone to our franchise. And if we don't have Roman, we're not winning as many hockey games. And I know that for a fact. And I will. So I love Roman as a player. I love Roman as a person. I think he's a cornerstone in the National Hockey League. But there's an adjustment time for him, just as there is for anybody in our hockey team.
That was Barry Trotz yesterday on Stillman and Company. Joins every Tuesday at 5:00. And look, Barry put it best. I mean, it's gotta sneeze. Hang on. Thought I had to sneeze. Man, that was so disappointing. I thought I had one, and then I turned and it went away. But Barry put it best. I mean, there's been an adjustment time because this system is different than what they ran with John Hines, but I think Roman has been fine. I mean, he's,
so
what
where
did Barry
does
say?
Stillman get all that? I mean, Barry and Willy. I mean, did he argue with Barry off this? I'm sure he did.
No, I just think a lot of people, Jared included, you watch the games and you see him doing different things. Like he's being a little bit, not a stay-at-home defenseman, but he's playing defense. Like he's being a defenseman. He's not being as offensive as he once was, even though some of those numbers will tell you that he's contributing to the plays. It's just he's not the catalyst like he has been in the past. And that's just the way that Andrew Brunette wants to play. And I think it's a credit to Yossi because it shows you how good he is that he's able to play in multiple systems.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, again, I don't follow the stats of hockey left and right, but you listen to people. I don't hear anybody complaining about Roman Yossi. I mean, and when you give me those stats, what he's got so far, I think, and the league recognizes how good he is. That's just a tired, sad narrative to get people talking. It is what it is, man.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm glad people are paying attention.
Yeah.
I mean, this team
winning does that.
You knew that this was going to be a process with the Predators, and I think that I said this a few years ago about the Vols, that when you're a little bit ahead of schedule, then the expectations start to change, and if you kind of fall back to where you were, then you get disappointed. But the Predators right now have 49 points. They're fourth in the Central Division in the Western Conference. They they find themselves very much in the playoff race. As they are in the second wild card spot, 2 points ahead of Calgary. So they're in a playoff spot right now. And I don't think a lot of people thought that they were going to be in that. I mean, they have been, if you go back and you look at the whole body of work since like November, when things really started to click for them, they're one of the best teams in the league in how they've played. Now, I know it's been a little up and down lately. They've had some moments where they've had some slow starts, and those come back to bite them. But I think that's a result of a young team that's still developing, and I like the road they're on, and I think that Andrew Brunette and his staff, have the right pieces in place. When the young guys, when it really clicks for the young guys, or pops, as Barry Trotz likes to say, I think this team's going to be really, really good.
Well, not only that, but just get me to the playoffs, right? Get me to April, get in the playoffs. Anything could happen. This team has shown how great it can play. Look, you're going to lose some tough ones here and there. I mean, it's 82 games, right? Nobody goes 82-0. And I think this team has showed this resiliency, which Barry Trotz loves to talk about, and they have that. So get me to April, get into the playoffs. And, I mean, there really is nothing better than playoff time for the Nashville Predators. I mean, this city goes crazy. The arena's fantastic, and it's only 3 months away. So just, get to the playoffs, see what can happen, and then have fun with it.
Yep, 100%. So wanted to get that in there and talk a little Preds. I know Shane in the Borough loved that, getting a little Predator stuff in there.
Beat your chest, man. I like it.
Dave says Jared knows as much about hockey as modern game developers know about customer experience. Dave with his video game thing for mine, I'm done. That's pretty good. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We'll have more coming up next here on, I'll say this station name again, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Jason Big Joe broadcasting live from the Spring Hill Heating and Cooling Game Nashville studios, keeping your home feeling comfortable all year round.
It's a neighborly day.
Are we Mr. Rogers? Like,
We are.
Tune in tonight on 102.5 The Game for Vanderbilt men's basketball. The Commodores take on Auburn at home. Tip-off at 8 with the pregame coverage beginning at 7:30. Coverage also available on the 102.5 The Game app. Good times. Yeah, with the Mr. Rogers. I like that.
Do we have an update on the coaching search? There's still no coach for the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, no. I haven't seen. See, everybody's making the white smoke, like that joke, which I think you started. So
I heard it from Jared. Jared made me laugh. They said,
Okay.
when we get a coach, and then he said, when the white smoke comes from St. Thomas Sports Park. It was well done.
Okay. Well, that's a
See,
good
I
one,
give
for
credit, unlike some people in town. I give credit. I don't steal things. I give credit where credit's due. Easy.
sure. Bless you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That was- bless you. All right. So what are we doing here? What day is it?
Yeah,
Is
let's do it. So every day of the year, and we get Dr. Crane involved there, every day of the year has a national what? Like, today's National Coffee Day or National Be Nice to Your Neighbor Day. So I've not looked at these.
That should be every day.
Yeah, it should be right. So Dr. Crane's got the list. He'll tell us what day it is, and we'll react to it.
Okay.
All right, Dr. Crane, go.
First
Wait,
one.
we got some music for this?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe, for reminding me.
You bet, buddy.
My brain is.
We're one big team here.
There you go. Just like Mr. Rogers. Everybody was,
Right.
in the neighborhood. There we go. Perfect. As for today, Ben Franklin Day.
By the way, the greatest president we've ever had.
He's on the $100 bill.
He is on the $100 bill.
So what do? We wear bifocals or?
I do. Have you seen the Office episode of Ben Franklin when
Pantaloons.
he comes in
Yeah.
as a stripper and they get it all confused? It is one of the best 24 minutes of sitcom history with Ben Franklin, because the girls roast him about what a pervert Ben Franklin was.
That he had
And it's-
chlamydia. Yeah.
Ew, I've never heard that word before.
I've never heard that word either. Cable car day is today as well.
I've been on. Chase, you been on a cable car?
I don't think I have.
Chase, you been to San Francisco?
I have not.
I rode a cable car out there. It's everybody should do it at least one time. It was a lot of fun.
I've never been to California, so
Have you not?
nope.
Neither have I.
Nope.
Okay.
I've been. I guess one of the Instagram fads a few months ago was put a dot on a state you've been to, and I realized I've been to quite a few, but I've never been to California.
Okay. Well, I took care of you going to Miami, right?
You did, yeah. Well, I had been to Florida, but I'd never been to Miami.
And to Key West, where we're going to buy that house across from the cemetery.
Yes, we are.
All right. What else we got, Dr. Crane?
National Customer Service Day.
Oh, here's a little fact, Chaser. The customer is not always right.
No.
I'll say that right now. Whoever came up with the customer's is not. The customer's not always right. You listen to them, but they're not always correct.
Yes, you listen to them.
Yeah.
but you're right.
Yep.
I mean, working for my dad at Piscetti's all those years, like there were many times where the customer was wrong, and I wanted to be like they were wrong.
And your dad was a good man. Just listen
was.
to him out.
That's
My
why
Instagram.
That's why we had a little thing called PIA on the side.
That's right. My Instagram picture today is of the worst customer that gave Brad Hamilton a lot of trouble in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which falls into National Customer Service Day. Customer is not always right, Brad. What else we got, Dr. Crane?
We have National Ditch New Year's Eve Resolution Day.
Already? We're only 2 weeks into January.
I guess so.
Yeah, that seems about right.
So when the gym, I usually give the gyms 30 days, and then, although competitive edge, I keep seeing the same faces out in Hermitage. Fantastic gym.
A lot of accountability out there.
New people coming in there, so keep it up and just keep grinding, and so good to see the good folks at competitive edge.
Robert in Spring Hill, I am pretty sure you were just joking, but I want to make sure that you know that Benjamin Franklin was never the president. Yeah. Yes, Robert. Thank you. He was joking.
Thank you, Robert. We love you, man. Thank you for that. What else we got?
Next one is National Judgment Day.
Oh, I'm in no place to judge people.
No.
Zero.
Like Judgment Day, like the wrestling stable, or actual
Judgment Day.
No,
yes.
I am in no way, shape, form, or fashion judging anybody ever again. I never do it anyway, but no, I'm in no shape.
Next one on the list is National Kids Inventors Day.
Oh, kids
That
say
could
the
be
darndest
fun.
things.
They do.
That could be fun and dangerous all at the same time.
Yeah, I wonder what the youngest invention is by a kid that we use today.
Probably a catapult from a Lego set.
Could be.
There you go.
Right? That's
You were
a good
ready
one.
for that one.
He was ready for that
I had a
one.
cousin. I still have a cousin, excuse me. He's big into engineering, went to school for it, and he had a huge room of just Legos. He'd make a little town. I'm like, good Lord. Would not have the patience to do that, but yeah, Lego sets.
Nice. What
Sorry,
else?
for the next one, excuse me.
All right.
National Museum Selfie Day.
Oh boy.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Why is this a thing?
It's a great question, Chase.
You didn't know it was a thing because, like, why should it be a thing?
Yeah.
Like, who the hell cares?
Well, I mean, if you went to see, I don't know, the Smithsonian, you would take a selfie, right? Wouldn't you? I wouldn't.
No. I would probably take a picture of something at the Smithsonian, but not a selfie. Maybe I'd get a picture in front of something.
You took a selfie with the Taylor Swift model at the Country Music Hall of Fame a couple years ago.
Because you refused to take my picture, and so
National Museum Selfie Day. What?
you were in tears because it looked so good.
It did. I was like, is that really? It's like, and you kind of resembled Travis Kelce that day because you had on a number 87 jersey, and that's where the
I
comparisons
did.
ended.
It was Kevin Dyson, but it was
Kevin Dice. Oh, it said Calico on the back, so don't give her too much credit for that. All right.
Some other ones we have. This is a kind of one close to home here in Nashville and
All right.
just Tennessee region. National Bootleggers Day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the moonshine up in the mountains.
Yeah, nice.
That's a big thing here in the Tennessee area, and also
That's how NASCAR started, right, Chase?
Yep. Junior Johnson.
Running from the feds.
Well, he didn't start, but yeah. But, I mean, that's how they got the souped-up cars.
Yeah, that's right.
Next one we have is National Classy Day. Not sure what the context is
Classy
to that.
Day?
Just
Classy.
yeah.
Classy.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Like- oh, that's a great one. Dean Martin. That was class. I mean, Dean Martin's classy.
The other one we have is National Hot Buttered Rum Day.
Oh,
I was not sure where you were going with that.
Neither was I when I read it.
National Hot Buttered Rum Day. Okay, I could see. That's good. You talked about butterscotch
that's-
yesterday, Dr. Crane?
Yes, butterscotch bourbon ice cream.
Okay.
And the other one we have is National Hothead Chili Day.
I like chili's not bad, but
Not bowl of chili. We're talking hot chilies, like the red chilies.
Oh, pass.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, hard pass.
I'm not sitting in a creek for a week after eating that stuff. You're insane. No way, man. Just like hot chicken. I know y'all love it. That's great, but no, Chase, remember we did the hot chicken eating contest
Oh,
at Mid City Bowl?
I remember.
Where was Joe the next hour after that? I was
Well, what was funny is
gone.
I remember having a conversation with my dad about that before we did it, and he goes, just remember this: if it hurts going in, it's going to hurt coming out.
And that's why he was a great man. That's good advice right there. Yeah. Never thought about that.
And that's why we eat more spinach in our diet, because today is National Popeye the Sailor Day.
Oh, okay. What was his girlfriend's name?
Olive oil.
Olive oil. Who was the guy that tried to fight him all the time? Brutus?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think Brutus. I've double-checked the cast.
You ever
list there.
watch Popeye the movie with Robin Williams? It's so amazingly bad, it's good.
I don't think I've actually seen that.
Yeah, like early 80s. It's really, really bad, but it's one of those where like, this is terrible and I can't turn it off.
Huh.
That's what it was.
Kind of like the show.
Bluto is the guy's name, not
Bluto.
Bluto.
Bluto! All right. God, we know nothing. We got a crack staff
We know
back
everything, and we know nothing.
behind the glass. Well done, Dr. Crane.
That is all we have for today.
Good job. Very good stuff. Robert in Spring Hill also said, sadly, I was judging you for National Judgment Day for not knowing Benjamin Franklin was never the president.
Oh, that's great. Good job,
Thank
Robert.
you,
Thank you
Robert.
for listening, man.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in for sure. Coming up next, we'll put a bow on things and get you celebrity birthdays as well. It's the Chase and Big Joe show presented by Regal Realty Group, 102.5-106.3 The Game.
Hey, guys. Thank you, Dr. Crane. Big Joe here to tell you about my good friends at Medical House Calls. Look, friends, I love hearing from all of you who have used Medical House Calls and love the experience and the care. Now, here's how it works. First, give them a call because all visits start with a phone call with one of your providers to determine the extent of your needs. 2, pick your treatment, answer a few questions. They'll provide you with treatment options, home visit, telehealth, or a virtual prescription. 3rd, you'll feel better in no time. Their great medical staff will get you up and running and, yes, feeling better in no time. Board-certified nurse practitioners and physician's assistants will guide you the entire way. MedicalHouseCalls.com. In fact, Chuck McDowell used Medical House Calls, was so impressed with the service and their commitment, he bought the company. The website, very simple, MedicalHouseCalls.com, MedicalHouseCalls.com, where the nearest clinic is your home.
Chasing Big Joe on this Wednesday, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase coming up in just a few minutes. Derek Mason's 50th birthday. So looking forward to their celebration for number 85, and also appreciate the Titans for acknowledging him today on his birthday as
Did
well.
the Ravens acknowledge him?
I don't know.
They should. Make a phone call.
I don't think I
Chase.
follow them on Twitter.
You need to make a phone call and figure that stuff out before
Well,
Mr. Mason arrives.
I can just look right now.
Before his driver drops him off here. And his driver works hard, unlike your driver.
No. My driver doesn't do anything. Let's see. The Ravens, I don't think they have. No.
Well, I will unfollow them on all my platforms then.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad the Titans did and the Ravens didn't.
Right?
We'll get to celebrity birthdays in a few minutes. This whole coaching search thing is, I mean, I know it's going to drag on for a while, but when do we think we're going to know something? When are we going to see the white smoke?
I think by the end of the month. I think
Okay.
by the end of the month you'll see. I know that's kind of a way to put yourself out there, Joe. I just think it's going to take some time, and once they get through the divisional rounds this weekend and things kind of clear out, and they'll go and see what happens. I mean, it's still waiting on, will Philadelphia open up? Will Pittsburgh open up? That Vrabel to Seattle thing is very interesting.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, and two, if let's say the Texans lose this weekend, then with Slowick then being available, if there really is a huge demand for him, which there probably will be, then I think it could get interesting. And it could move fast.
I think the hottest name, I guess, is it the guy from the Lions? What's his name?
Johnson?
Ben Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is I think he's the hottest name, and so I think a lot of things will happen. He's probably going to see what happens after he makes his decision, and the dominoes will start to fall. That's my thing on this, but who knows, man, right?
Yeah, by the way, every time you say all right, Jeff just said, guys, the Ravens are busy preparing for a playoff game. Well, they tweeted out one of their players' happy birthday, so they can't tweet Derek Mason. Come on, Jeff. I know you're kidding, but I forgot what I was going to say now. That distracted me.
You're upset on this.
I
like
am
this.
upset. I gotta defend my man D-Mase. That's for sure. All right, let's get to celebrity birthdays.
All right, celebrity birthdays, America's popular segment, brought to you by Possibly You.
Together at cromwellmedia.com.
All right, first birthday today. Chase, you better get this one. The great actor James Earl Jones, Darth Vader. How old is James Earl Jones today?
So Field of Dreams, he was great. I'm going to say he's 87.
Go a little higher. I'm going 92.
93.
Wow, well done.
Dr. Crane. Next up, comedian Steve Harvey.
Also a great motivational speaker.
He is.
Steve Harvey is 64.
No, Steve, you cannot have the rights to this game. We're going to go 72.
67. You guys are close on that. The great Jim Carrey. How old is Jim Carrey today?
59.
61.
62. Dr. Crane's
Good job, Doctor.
I recently watched Man on the Moon again about Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler. How he did not win an Academy Award for that, I will never know.
That one of those movies that, like, you watch it and you go, okay, it was all right, but then you watch it again and you realize how great it actually was?
It really is, because the problem with that, you watch, like, oh, he's going to be goofy and funny and da-da-da, and he's not. I mean, it's
Right.
Andy Kaufman was a tortured soul, and Jim Carrey just did that role so perfectly with all that. So Dr. Green's up 2-0. Former First Lady Michelle Obama. Today's her birthday.
55.
52.
60 years old. I don't know this actor. Kid Rock.
Bob Ritchie.
Oh, Bob Ritchie. How old's Bob Ritchie today?
53.
57.
53 exactly. 2-1. Dr. Crane, you're still on top. We still got a way to go. Zoe Deschanel.
Oh, new girl. 45.
No, we're not going 39.
44. We're tied at 2. Good
Who's
job,
that
Chaser.
girl? It's Jess.
You're.
It's a great show.
All right, here we go. We're going to roll now. Marty Povich.
77.
73.
85.
Jeez.
The great Steve Earle. How old is Steve Earle today?
Copperhead Road. 71.
78.
69. Chases up 3-2. Singer Susanna Hoffs of the Bangles. God, I was in love with her growing up.
64.
69.
65. Chasers up 4. You guys doing good. 4-2. Chasers stormed back on this. DJ producer Tiesto.
Who?
Tiesto.
48.
37.
55.
Oh, boy.
All right, let's give you a couple more here that people have never heard of. You know what's weird? Today's Andy Kaufman's birthday. He passed away, though.
How old would he have been?
That's a great question. I don't know. One more for you here. Let's see what we got. Singer Paul Young. The great British singer Paul Young. How old is he today? Chase, you're up 4-2. If you get this, you get the swoosh.
Paul Young, 59.
Paul Young, 62.
68 years old. Chase McCabe with the win today. Good job,
Comeback
Chase.
win.
Chase down 2-0 and roars back, scores 4 goals, wins.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the people.
Well, you should. You've done a good job with that, young man.
What was the offensive strategy going into the second half of that game, there, Chase?
Well,
just guess.
Just guess. That's what we had to do, and that's
well
what
done.
we did. So I want to thank our coaches and my teammates.
All involved.
Andy Kaufman would have been 75.
Oh, he was on a show called Fridays.
Yep.
Back in the early '80s, and Michael Richards was on there.
Yep.
And it was hilarious. But
Was that before Taxi?
That was during, maybe right after Taxi. I think Taxi might have still been running. He might have been off the show by then, but
yeah,
it was something. But Fridays was a good show, and it just couldn't compete with Saturday Night Live.
He was so he made Taxi, in my opinion.
Well, Taxi is the most underrated comedy of all time. I mean, it's just it doesn't get talked about enough in the pantheon of sitcoms.
And yes, I know Taxi was well before my time because Andy Kaufman died before I was even born. But, it still was it's one I've watched.
You can go back. I mean, it's like I wasn't alive when the Beatles came in '64, but you can go back and all that stuff. As we leave you on the show every morning, to our guys out there, listen, we end the show every day letting you guys know that we love you. If you're struggling, need to talk to somebody, it's okay not to feel okay. Please dial 988 on your cell phone. Somebody's always there to talk to you. You can reach out to us. We're here for you. As we say, God put you on this planet for a purpose. You are irreplaceable, and you are loved immensely. Please know that.
Amen to that. Have a great day. Be safe out there. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 9. Caroline, Willy, D-Mase. That's next.